Well, hello there. Hope everything is good with you. And today I'm going to try, as I said in the previous video from my daily news, I will try to expand a little bit my theory that Marika and the Gloam-Eyed Queen are sisters, or were sisters, because the Gloam-Eyed Queen um, just died and was defeated by the hands of Malekith, supposedly. Again, we're just going to rewatch some parts here so I can have my support material here. The trailer, the latest trailer, the Shadow of the Tree, the story trailer. It start off, it's without sound. I'll just leave a little bit here. Again, the narrator here is, I don't have a definitive conclusion who it is, but it's something that it speaks highly of Mikela. I propose that might be Marika itself, but this makes a lot of sense, even though somebody that is in line with Mikela, some acolyte or something like that. Again, this is somebody that the narrator telling that Mikela talked to this person regarding the beginning. Of the beginning. Now here is what a lot of theories are coming about, and this is this part here, and the fact that there is this kind of talk about the betrayal here, the seduction and the betrayal. Again, I think here the wording, given that a lot of the English used in Elden Ring, even if it is like with some errors in translation from Japanese, is used in a very olden English. So not all the words have the literal sense that we usually can put it in today. Let's say the seduction. The seduction doesn't mean like sexual seduction or something in that sense. Usually the seduction, I assume that it's referring to the seduction of power, of rising to godhood. And the betrayal, again, we got a lot of elements that I saw also in a lot of comments regarding this scene here, reminding of Berserk, the ascension of Griffith to godhood, the fact that he had to betray the Bed of Hawk and everything after the Night of the Eclipse, I think it's called, that event. Again, I'm not very knowledgeable about Berserk, even though I watched some of the anime and such, and I have like an overarching sense of what's happened there. And again, the affair from which Golden Rose, again, the affair can be the rise of power, because the affair doesn't have to be something like something in a romantic sense or sexual sense. Like this affair can be related to a situation that happened, and from that situation the Golden Order was created, which Golden Rose. I think that again, this is also very Berserkish kind of a style heel thing, evocative in that sense. A lot of people have been speculating here. I watched recently a video. Again, I will leave all the channels of content creators that do Elden Ring lore, so you might that I took some like the basic established lore, and that's how I'm establishing this theory that Marika and Gloam-Eyed Queen are sisters, because it can fit on, at least from what I hear, it can fit on a timeline and everything, given that we don't have like precise dates of timelines and how events happened. If they were happened now that we know that there is the shadowlands, or if it was the events happened on the lands between. Again, basically my main story, the overarching story, is given that the Numens arrived to the lands between by boat. At least that's one of the things that we saw on the gameplay trailer. We saw that boats there. It's been some elements in game, like some effigies, especially in Siofra River, that you can see like a story being told by pictograms, and the top one is always boats. And we saw some boats like shipwrecks of those boats on the gameplay trailer. Again, my main thing is Marika and the sister and the family, because again, if being their sisters, they have to be some family of some sort. They arrived at the lands between, I assume, to like an exploration very in line, let's say, to the Numenorians of the Lord of the Rings, and they basically reach to this kind of magical land, I will assume, at least from their point of view. And they in the time that they had to get around, integrating with the culture in the lands between, uh, they they got the knowledge of the Elden Ring, the Elden Beast, the greater real thing here. And because they were so good, in the sense that they are long lived, even though seldom born, so they usually don't have a lot of they don't reproduce that much. And because they are from afar from, they don't belong to to the lands between, sorry. And I think they are powerful beings. They were, to any given point in time, they were chosen to be Empyreans, because the Gloam-Eyed Queen, we all know that she was Empyrean. Throughout here, I got some stuff from Elden Ring Wiki. Uh, um, yeah, the Gloam-Eyed Queen was an Empyrean, even though it was defeated by Malekith. Again, we don't know which shadow was belonging to the Gloam-Eyed Queen, even though every Empyrean is given a shadow. In the case of Malekith, in the case of, for example, the Rani, the witch, is a blade or blade. But yeah, there is some information that is missing from Empyreans, because Mikela and Millennia, we don't know their shadows. We never saw them in game. I don't ever remember seeing them referenced. But then again, being that they were given shadows, and then the fact that the powers given Gloam-Eyed Queen is the power of death and death. Where is it? The power of death and death, and this is how it was. Even though Queen Marika, when she was in Empyrean, I assume it was the gift of life, so the counterpart of the death and death here, it's like eternal life, something like that. Probably that's one of the main reasons that's why she called Queen Marika the Eternal, because she has the power of giving giving life, and the renewal of life to a certain degree, something that might be connected to the Crucible itself to a certain degree, and also with the Gloam-Eyed Queen because of the renewal of life and the cycle of life. I will assume there is something to do with that. And in the end, because they were both Empyreans, and I will assume they were very close together, but something happened. The seduction of creating the perfect being, probably something with alchemists in terms of alchemism, in terms of the rebus here, and probably they talked about merging themselves as one, given that they can complement each other to a certain degree, but I think they reached the conclusion that it was impossible. But as fickle the gods are, as same as man, that there is something in the game regarding this. Marika, I don't know, something like the similar, like in Berserk, the golden egg or something like that. Something teased her to take over and rise herself to godhood, because by the end it can only be one god. And I suppose that this is the betrayal. So she betrayed her sister, given that that there is death and death, and I will assume death and death was needed to assemble the Elden Ring, because in this period of the Crucible, I think there is no god. There is only Placidus X, I think, as a previous Elden Lord, and I think it was this kind of because the previous god didn't exist, so somebody had to occupy that place, and to assemble again, I will assume, the Elden Ring, or to create a new order for the Elden Ring, she needed death and death to do that, to as a complete the thing there for the Golden Order. And that comes the betrayal. Here we don't see the steps pretty much, or even where she might have removed those little strands, which I will assume is the metaphysical representation of the ring itself, the Golden Order, let's say. or the Elden Ring thing there, because there is similarities here. We saw similar representation of the strands on when the first teaser the first trailer that we saw on Elden Ring, with when Marika smashed the Elden Ring. That there is that started basically the shattering happened of the Elden Ring happened, that all those strands were visible when she did that. But yeah, this is basically the betrayal here now, and this is basically the representation of her ascending to godhood. We got this situation here which seems very similar to like a dual tree, similar what Mikla was trying to do with the Erdtree, the twisting shape of the similar to the Caduceus stuff. Again, I will assume this is the fact that it did elevate herself to godhood. She separated to a certain degree the shadowlands at the same time, because we saw the representation of Veil. For her to ascend to godhood, she had to betray basically probably the most beloved person or her life, and all the rest. That's why she had to veil the shadowlands, and to a certain degree she had to divide the shadowlands, because in deep down I think it's a shame of what she did, and the fact that she used Malekith to kill her sister in that act of betrayal to assume a new order, in this case the Golden Order. And again, with Mesmer, I think Mesmer might be probably the son of the Gloam-Eyed Queen. Again, because of the M naming monoculture, Marika can be, I don't know, Mariko, her sister, or M something, or even Maria, whatever. And Mesmer can get his name from there. Because I don't see that only Marika is giving birth to demigods all over the place, given that she's Numen. I don't know if the godhood status managed for her to give a birth out of nowhere, basically. A lot of undesirable children and desirable children is there. But yeah, I assume that he probably... I can concede that it might be the son of Marika, but I think he's the son of the Gloam-Eyed Queen, and he probably was seduced by his aunt to take over. That's why he is pissed off to a certain degree. We saw this on the trailer here. He's taking over like a revenge trip there on the lands between on the Shadowlands. Let me see here on the Shadowlands. We see it around here. This seems to be very Crucible like style things happening around here. As you can see, he's touching things all over the place. This seems more like vengeance, just burning everything down to the ground kind of a thing here, because when you want to conquer something you try not to damage that much. This seems to be raising down everything that he can as a revenge thing, at least it seems so. I don't know what kind of seduction that it might take part there for him to help his aunt to ascend to godhood. Probably he was deceived thinking that he could rule over in the Shadowlands or something like that, and then when he understood that the Shadowlands was something that was banished, there was no way of getting out of there. He must be, and the fact that he discovered that the Gloam-Eyed Queen as his mother was killed by being betrayed also. Again, there is a lot of themes of betrayal and the duality of gods and the accession of gods. I think taken to a certain extent an inspiration from Berserk in that sense of the ascension of Griffith, and also the fact that if the Shadowlands are, or where everybody assumes to be at, is in the middle of the map, where that huge body of water is there. I think Leyndell is like an incomplete city there. I think can be more stuff on Leyndell that was disappeared. Mainly because of the fact that we got the Shadow Tree. It's kind of hidden. It's got some buildings near there. You can see here. Let me check a little bit here on the ancient here. We saw that there is this part of the city that it is on the shadow tree, and I think the shadow tree is basically side by side with the Erdtree, given that they before they intertwine, and I think we can explain the twist here. And yeah, of course, the Erdtree is fed through blood of sacrifice. That's why we saw that huge amount of piles of bodies there on this scene here to create the extension of Godwood. She had to create a representation of the symbol there, which is basically the Erdtree as we see it now, even though they were intertwined before as a representation of the physical and the metaphysical to a certain extent, figuratively speaking. And probably this might be the separation of this part to for her to put one of the sides of the tree, the Erdtree, as a symbol of the Golden Order, and the rest is obscured in the Shadowlands. And all the sacrifice and all the ugly stuff that was needed to be done for her to ascend to godhood was hidden in the Shadowlands. And that's why they are at war. And again, one of the reasons of Mikla going here or wanted to go here, again, I will assume that while he was trying to create the Erdtree, something happened, or the roots of the Erdtree connected to the roots of the shadow of the Erdtree, or to the Erdtree itself, and it got connected with her mother Marika, or to the shadow of the Erdtree, and he got a glimpse of something, and that probably awakened his curiosity of checking why there was a connection there. Probably saw something similar in this sense because he talks about the beginning, so you might get a glimpse of that when he was connected in the Erdtree, trying to create his own kingdom, let's say. And yeah, and basically he had to divest himself from the flesh and everything else to try and see what happened at this time where we see, or before Marika ascended to godhood, what happened there on the Shadowlands for to bring the Erdtree, which is basically an illusion. Some people speculate this is kind of symbolized the Erdtree like tear that there is when you enter inside of the Erdtree. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff here, but even though I try to maintain my focus on the fact that both of them were sisters, and how it can fit on the overall story here. Yeah, I get a lot of king all over the place. I don't have time to do scripted videos, unfortunately, at this moment in time, to make it more organized. But basically, that's it. It's she similar has Griffin a rise to power. He had to betray everything or sacrifice everything to ascend to godhood status. Then we got some parallels here with the Tree of the World, I think it's called in Berserk, and the fact that we have like the same symbology happening here with the Erdtree and the Crucibility, or the ancient Erdtree, depending the names that you want to give it, and the fact that they will probably intertwine between them to represent unity and harmony, and she basically split up that and just take advantage of creating the Golden Order to make the Erdtree as a symbol of the Golden Order, which is basically what it is. And yeah, all of it that comes before, after, this is basically a lie. It's based on a lie. That's why I assume the age of plenty and the bounty and plenty was very short-lived, because the regrets and the shame of having to betray everything to ascend to godhood was not worth it to a certain extent. Again, regarding with the Black Knives and the plot of the Black Knives, again, we see that Rani the Witch tells that she was the one that stole a fragment of the Rune of Death. Again, how she did it, I don't go into much there, because again, we don't have like a lot of details, even though we know maybe she tricked him with sleep or something like that, the way she puts on sleep to Kale and the donkey. I don't know, something in that sense, and she managed to split something. Then you got also the Black Knife assassin plot there. Again, I will assume these are remains of loyalists to Marika when she was in the shadow of the Shadowlands. They managed to cross to the lands between and seek revenge. And because even though they know they were not powerful enough, they managed to get a favorable ally in Rani to do the plot there to kill, and they took advantage of it. And that's why they turned afterwards Rani, because she was Marika's progeny to a certain extent. Because it was she's son of Radagon and Renala. But again, I assume they discovered that she is progeny of that, even if by extent of they don't know Marika is Radagon. The fact that Radagon is the consort of Marika, by extent they will probably kill everything associated with Marika, even if it is by proxy. Yeah, they took advantage of trying to get rid of the Golden. Maybe they didn't know at the time when they killed Godwin and Rani. They thought they were killing really Rani without knowing that she will reincarnate as a doll afterwards. Probably they thought it was something like a suicidal attempt of trying to eliminate all the lineage. They went along with it. Or maybe it was just the Black Knives was just a plot that Rani wanted to achieve, killing Goldwyn and herself at the same time, and that's it. And the Black Knives took advantage of that, and they just killed all the progeny of Marika and all the undesirable children and everything. We don't know for sure. At least that I saw something like that might happen. Yeah, and that's the fact also that the the flame monks, when they turn around and they turn to as black flame monks, so they betrayed the allegiance they had to Marika of keeping the flames guarded. I will assume this is like rumor spreading, and I don't know, something that I saw while they were guarding. Rumors spread out like whispers in the wind. Again, because we don't have any details how they turned from being fire monks to be black fire monks. Maybe the seduction of that power itself of dealing death and death, let's say, was more seductive for them to do their jobs, has tried to keep people away, even though they are seen a lot around the Godskin wolves. Again, we got also the Godskin wolves. I completely forgot about that one. They were loyal to the Gloam-Eyed Queen. Again, I will assume that this was one of the factions that were in favor of the Gloam-Eyed Queen, and because Malekith had to kill the Gloam-Eyed Queen and seal the destined death after it was removed from the Golden Order, or for them to lose their power. I think there is something associated with them. Some of them managed to escape to the lands between, and they are hunting for anything regarding Marika and the Golden Order. I think that's why we see him, and I think there is something to do with the fact that we see him in Farum Azula, because there is some theories that Farum Azula was connected to Caelid in the northern part near the Beastman clergy things there. And we see them also in the Divine Tower of Caelid. We see them in the northern part of Altos Plateau in that village there. We see them all over the place. I assume they are trying to hunt something or enact revenge. We see them also in the Mount Kelmir, near inside one of the church. I think, we fight one of them there. We saw them also in one of the paths for other, I think a noble one. When we go towards one of the divine towers, I don't remember to activate which rune, but we see them there. We have to confront them. So they are very well connected. Maybe they are trying to get a way of getting the runes there, to put them together, to maybe try to arrange a ritual to sacrifice Marika to resurrect the Gloam-Eyed Queen, something in that sense. At least that's my wild theory there. But yeah, I think it kind of fits. the fact that Marika and the Gloam-Eyed Queen are sisters, and this ascension here very recalling the ascension of Griffith and how he had to sacrifice and betray everybody that was close to him. And yeah, and how the shame and the regret catch after America after a while. That's why we don't have the Age of Plenty and Bounty to be very long. It was very short run, at least according to the lore. But yeah, I think it has to do something like that. Basically, so the main gist is the two sisters reach the lands between through the flotilla there. They caught up in the events there with the Crucible area stuff there. They were chosen as Imperial because they were very powerful and very admired. They were given Imperial status for the two fingers there and all that jazz until one of America was, because she, I assume, very charismatic, she was seduced by power to ascend to godhood by basically betraying her sister and everything that her sister represented there. Yeah, I think that basically that's my main gist. But again, let me know in the comments if I missed anything. I will try to respond the best I can. If you have any more questions, I will try to answer as best as I can, and maybe I will try to do some follow-up videos on that. But yeah, from the top of my hand, that's basically what I can recall from the first reaction that I did on the video there. This scene is very important, mainly because of what it represents itself. The creation of Golden Order, and by extension covering everything in the veil of mischief, of America's mischief magic, which is putting the Shadowlands out of business to a certain degree from the main game. But yeah, again, let me know what you think. I probably missed something. Again, I'm not a lore expert, but yeah, and I'm sorry I cannot do at this moment in time scripted videos. I don't have a lot of time. I just when I have time, I just do the video stuff there. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy it, and don't forget to check out the content creators that do Elden Ring lore on the description below. And with all that said, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, I'm your master out.